Good afternoon, and this is 6W. And here today we have the guest, Professor and Dr. K. Jaishankar, and Principal and Director and Professor of Criminology and founder of International Institute of Justice and Police Sciences. And welcome, sir. Welcome to the show.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for
Yes, sir. You can introduce yourself. How do you take about you, and how do you pursue this career?
See, basically, I was a biochemistry student. Then I had some interest in the field of forensics because to do some investigation. But however, I found that there was a little bit gap between my ideas and the field where I want to go to the field rather than do some works in the laboratory. Then I thought to do something which is connected with society. So I found criminology more exciting because criminology is connecting with society and understanding crime and criminal behavior from a sociological perspective and a psychological perspective. So I joined a master's program in criminology in the University of Madras. And then I pursued PhD in the same department, University of Madras Criminology Department. And then started a career as an academic. So I thought it's my mindset is more research oriented. So I thought it's better to go for a research or a teaching profession rather than trying to be an investigator like a forensic scientist or a police officer, where they would hit the branches, but we would hit the roots. So that way around, I became an academic and I served in Manor Sundarna University's Department of Criminology and Criminal Justice for more than 14 years. Then I became a full professor in Raksha Shakti University in Gujarat. Then I came out during the COVID period and started my own institute, International Institute of Justice and Police Sciences in 2022. And we are a 2-year-old institute comprising of all disciplines connected with crime and justice, not only criminology, but also policing, law enforcement, justice, sociology, forensic psychology, forensic medicine, toxicology, then forensic odontology, cybersecurity, and cyber forensics. So this is a brief about me and about our institute. It's a more an applied institute which works for the helping the current students and faculties to enhance their knowledge in the field of crime and justice, because you see this is a multidisciplinary field, and also we need more knowledge to understand the phenomenon of crime, because crime is also multifactorial, not a single factor people commit crime. And of course, not only we are studying crime, because we are also studying criminal justice agencies such as the courts, the police and the prisons. But of course, as criminologists, we need to study the political factor also, that is that how the law is made in the parliament. So in this process, our institute tries to make a holistic understanding of crime and justice, not only from one perspective, but a multifactorial perspective.
Okay. So something made you to shift from biochemistry to this course, and then again from even in the career. Rather than pursuing a job, you made it yourself as a, you have started an institute, it seems. And it is a budding institute anyhow. But anyhow, what made you to shift from one, what is that inner dialogue tells you to shift this?
I have not shifted anything. Only one thing that I have made a transition is that from an educationist, I have made myself as an edupreneur, that is an entrepreneur who works for education. So you see, working in an university for more than 25 years I've worked, but then it has its own pitfalls and it has own advantages also, being working in a university. So after reaching the highest rank of full professor, I find that there is something to do out of box. So I cannot stay in a cocooned space where after full professorship, there is no promotion in academia except for administrative positions like vice chancellors or registrars, which is not going to benefit me at this point of time or the criminological field. So, and carrying a lot of years of experience and a ranked professional in the world. So I thought it's better to start my own institute to assist and help students and faculties, because they, as I pointed earlier, there are a lot of gaps in this field. which many cannot master in one period. Because you see, as our field is connecting with law, our field is connecting with justice, our field is connecting with political science, geography, then sociology, and also psychology. So we cannot limit ourselves with a small area. Then our students may not get a job also. So that's why we have widened our scope, our institute, in terms of security, in terms of intelligence, in terms of the human rights, all areas where our students might be placed. So for them, we need to have training. But as pointed earlier, we are not limiting ourselves with one particular group of students. We are open to any type of students. So we even sometimes train school students also, kind of a mentorship and internship also. Sometimes people unrelated to our area, for example, an engineering students also want to learn something on criminology. So we train them also. So that's how the transition has happened. But still, I continue to be a professor. Still, I continue to be a mentor. I have not downgraded anything or upgraded anything in this way. That it is a very simple shift from a theoretical to a practical perspective.
Yeah, okay. And also, you have a wide vision of stepping in all the fields in this when we come to it. And also, the next question is that so to become an edupreneur, how you define yourself as an edupreneur?
See, ma'am, normally people who are entrepreneurs are people who are very rich, who are powerful, who are connected politically, and they have money. But many times you will find that many education institutes are not run by academicians themselves. That's a very strange thing in academia. You will find people who are not connected to academia only are running schools, running colleges, running universities, except a few exceptions. But I feel somewhere down the line, it is the professorial community that should start universities, because we know better how to run an organization in that terms. But still, the professorial community is not that powerful or not that rich like the politicians or the civil servants. So that is the problem, that I find that it is very difficult for a professor to start a educational institute and run it in a successful way. But although we lack some resources, still I believe that students are of a great support, and then we can make ourselves a successful entrepreneur in any field. And being in the field of criminology, I am doing this the first of its kind in India. Of course, in the Western nations, there are many institutes which are started by academics, and they are also running well. But it requires a lot of courage and support. So I'm still venturing into that with the fullest hope.
Yes, sir. Not only the courage and also the mission and a wide perspective make us to go in a long way, I think so. And the next is that how you balance yourself with your work, life, and your health.
A very tough thing, ma'am. You see, when you become goal oriented, or when you become more vision based, it would be very difficult to balance things. So one need to work a longer time. And recently, there are hot debates by big industrialists like Narayan Murthy or L&T Subramanian talking about 70 hours work or 90 hours work. I believe it is a very, very difficult path for people who are in the pursuit of entrepreneurship. Maybe people who are working in an environment of 10 to 5 job, they can make good balance. But even I believe in academia, we tell ourselves that we work for 10 to 6. But very unfortunately, it is not happening like that, because university teaching is not like college or a school where we only teach. We do many activities like teaching, research, consultancy, extension, then outreach, then also administration. So if we calculate our work hours, it is not just 40 hours per week, it is more than 70 hours per week. So that way, the starting from my path as an assistant professor until I became a full professor, still now I'm not able to make a work-life balance. So work not less than 14 hours a day, or even sometimes 17 hours. Even weekends also we work, because you see sometimes what happens is that teaching takes more load in the working days. Saturday, Sundays we keep ourselves to write books or articles, or even calling our PhD students and mentoring them. But now that I have become an edupreneur, a little bit I have time to relax myself. I'm giving some equal time to work-life balance. In fact, now I'm reading more books, spending more time with the family, also getting to know more people, because business is different from academia, and we cannot be professor in this way. When we target the population for business, we need to be more entrepreneur. So I need to read a lot of books related to entrepreneurship management. Even though I'm not a management graduate, I try to become one by getting more knowledge. So I keep on upskilling myself. Even as you pointed, I am now into various other fields also, like forensic science or medicine. Then I need to rather read a lot on those areas also. So that is the toughest thing that I believe. But still, you can see that one can make work-life balance one when they are an entrepreneur. But still, it is a very tough decision, I would say. But I feel that comparatively, my work-life balance have now changed.
So changes is always, if it is with us, everything is possible, I think so. And I heard from your speech, I learned that you have traveled many places, in the sense you have been there for your career in and around India. So there will be a lot of lessons learning, and these lessons, or whatever we see or whatever we pursue, whatever we hear, these lessons will be a changing part in our life. So what is an impactful lesson you have learned in your life?
One thing is that not necessarily only in India, so I have traveled more than 25 countries and got several experience. In fact, I have a wonderful experience to work as a Commonwealth Fellow in the University of Leeds for 6 months in 2009 and 10. That was a little bit mind-changing experience I had with a British culture. So where honesty and integrity is valued much. One, two is that if it is not useful to you, give it to others. So we stayed in an apartment, and we all find that when people vacate the apartments, they keep all the used utensils, spoons, and others in a bag, and put a poster, take anything you want. So that is one mindset I learned, that we need to give things which we don't want, because many times we hoard things in our house, very old things also, like somewhere 25 years, 30 years also. If you see under the bureau or inside the bureau, many things are there, but we never touch them, we never use them, but we don't part with them also. That is a kind of a thing which I learned, a lesson, that we should start parting away slowly some unwanted things or even wanted things, so that when we go to the deathbed, we will go very peacefully. Because people carry a lot of things, and then at the time of deathbed, they don't want to leave anything, but nature will call them. So people will feel very bad. I'm leaving this much big apartment, this much land, this much money in bank, all these things. So slowly, we should behave like a rocket. That rocket, when it moves top, it should shed things, load, so that the weight reduces and the satellite is launched. So that is one great lesson I learned there. Second great lesson I learned is honesty and trusting people. That is very important. Trust is very big thing in India. You cannot trust anyone. Neither you are trusted by others. One example I would bring is that I was staying in a place called Milton Keynes in my friend's place, where I needed a letterhead from the university, but it was a kind of a vacation period, the Christmas and New Year holidays. But still, some people were working there. Support staff were working there. One or two might come. So I wrote a mail that I urgently require this. And to my surprise, the next day I found a packet of 15 letterheads, which is very impossible in an Indian scenario, where people will not even send one, because they will ask hundreds of questions. What is that? Why you want a university letterhead? what for you are going to use, all these questions, because we don't trust, because people always think that it will be misused by people, and we don't trust our own employees. That is so that is the lesson I learned, where trust is very, very important in higher levels. And also, the another important thing I learned is respect for academics there. So I was given a card which is written as A. A means academics. So whenever I show the card in the University of Leeds, all doors are open for me, whether it's a library, whether it is anybody, administrator or anybody, warmly welcoming me. So that's the kind of respect academics carry over there in the British. But the same is not in the Indian context. That India values more civil servants, more politicians, more powerful people rather than people who are scholars. So these are the lessons I learned from them, and I cherish them, and I also value the same. So I always keep academics in forefront in my conferences, my seminars, my workshops, rather than inviting a police officer or a IAS officer or any politician who may not be that much knowledgeable in our area. Rather, I would keep our academics on the top.
Okay. So the learning the lessons is it actually is a stepping stone. The next is that from here in 2022, this institute is being started, and from in today it is 2025. After 5 years, how you're viewing your institute?
After 5 years, I believe that we will have our own building, our own land, and our own laboratories and our own faculties, and also a status like a deemed university status. And that is what we are aiming for another 3 years, and also looking for some venture capitalists to support this institute and take in a big level.
So, and also about foreign students coming here and having it.
That's kind of collaboration.
Your knowledge, sharing your knowledge with the foreign students. It is more important.
See, that's how the avenue to be opened, where India should be the focal point, where people should come here and learn things rather than our students going abroad. That's what is happening. So we need to change the narrative. Earlier, whether it is Nalanda, Takshashila, all we thought all people are coming to India and learn. But now more people are going to UK, USA to learn. Because the higher centers of learning have become more better there. So I've seen that kind of culture there, the British culture or the American culture. The universities are far, far different from the culture we are having. So still we are under the colonial vestige, and still we are running university like a school system. So we are not running university like a university system. So that is the problem with attendance, with the many bureaucratic hurdles, both for the students, for the faculty members. And as I pointed earlier, that the UK, they are only support staff. So that means they have to support the faculty. So they keep in order the faculty in the top, and the next the students, and the last the administration, that is the supportive staff. But in India, we keep it in the reverse way, where the top is in the administration, and the next comes the students, and the third is the faculty. But it is a very, very wrong thing, I say. But many people think the students are the bread of the university. No, I don't think so. It's the faculty, because the students are coming because of the best. So the best faculty will come. Money is secondary, but the respect is foremost. So I believe that that is what we need to do in the years to come.
Yes, sir. So the faculty and also the students are the two ends where you have been the bridge for them. Here coming to this, a mentorship is also more important for the faculties to grade themselves to your level, or to go come along with you. So what type of things you are, or the what type of mentorship you are giving for them?
Basically, ma'am, passion is a must. It is a teaching field or at research or even movies. If you see why A.R. Rahman has become the Oscar winner, why Ilayaraja has become a great artist, or any other person, if you take why they have become top, because it's the passion. So in any field, we need to have that passion and the fire in the stomach that you need to go up and up. So, but people without thirst or without hunger, then we cannot do anything. Even we mentor also. So I believe always try to handpick people to mentor those type of passionate people. But unfortunately, see, if you are attached with the university system, they will only select people. They will only send the people. So it is very difficult to train them or mentor them. So I don't mentor just like that in those type of people, even though I have successfully guided 6 PhD students and 6 MPhil students. But still, I believe there is a lacuna in that because many of the students were not chosen by me, but chosen by the system. But now that I'm an edupreneur, I have the liberty to choose and mentor the best of the people and who are having fire in their stomach and passionate. And those people naturally come to me and they naturally get guided by me. These are not necessarily in India. So I have students across the world. They come to me and get mentorship.
And so the next is that what one step you have to take in to move in a fast pace.
Ma'am, once again.
What one step you have to take yourself?
The one step is I believe I need to little bit discipline myself with a timetable, with structure, which is I told you that when you make a work-life balance, it is very difficult. I'm trying to do that, and sometimes we go longer in one particular area and then we don't do the other activities. So as I told, this requires a lot of balancing, even not only work-life balance, within work itself, I told you the teaching balance, the research balance, the extension work balance, outreach balance, then consultancy, then the administration, all these things balancing is not that easy. So I believe that skill is coming. It's not that it's not there. So I could make a mark in the field of criminology and I'm ranked number 16 among top 25 criminologists in the world, and also 36 among the top 200 criminologists in the world. All this happened because of the balance. So if I would not have made a balance between all this teaching, research, extension, and other, it would not have happened because many people struggle to do only teaching and then they are not able to do research. Some people are able to do research but not teaching. But again, organizing conferences takes a lot of time. But this is the skill I've learned. But as it pointed, always upskilling will help. So I'm still a learner always.
Yes. Okay. So next is that the reason in coming days the AI will be AI agents will be the it will create a revolutionary in the world, it seems. So how far you'll be adapting ourselves is more important. So how far you're adapting to it?
Now AI is very good tool actually. It's more like, I believe it's like a Microsoft Office only, but many people see as a threat to the humanity or a threat to people. It will take jobs and all. No, it is again another tool. When typewriter came, it came as an assistant, then came computer. So now we have artificial intelligence. So as a criminologist, our outlook is again how misuse is also happening with the AI. So many people are committing crimes using AI, deep fakes, and also, in fact, we are researching more on that. Alternatively, also as a criminologist, we are trying to understand how AI can help in policing, crime prevention, like predictive policing, where crime will happen, how we can prevent crime, how we can support the people in the prison. So all these things, AI is now was a wonderful tool. So in terms of teaching and research also, we can do faster. That is very, very important. We can prepare the notes well. We can prepare the PPTs well. We can do things well. But as I pointed, no AI can be a supplement, can complement, not a supplement, a complement to teachers. Like it cannot replace the teachers. So people are also worried that teaching jobs will go or lawyer jobs will go. Nothing would happen. And I have a 100% faith that we are the people who will not make kind of errors. Like 100% we make some errors, of course, but our brain is far superior. So AI is like a trained parrot. That's what I believe. So whatever we give, it will say. So if you ask them to write an essay on a topic which is not at all in real, it will write on its own without that having any kind of in a reality also. So many times you find that AI creates images which in reality those people are not there also. So it can be used as a kind of fantasy tool, and it can be used as a tool like a car, which will help us to drive faster. But everybody should move towards AI because that is kind of future waiting for us.
Next, okay. Next comes to your books. You have written almost 11 books, I hope so. Can you tell a few more about informations about your books?
Actually, our works are related to cyber. So basically, our works are related to cybercrime, and I'm a founder of a field called cyber criminology, which sees cybercrime from a social science perspective. So that way, I created a field in 2007 and also developed some theories on the cybercrime called space transition theory in 2008. So more than 15 years, so the researchers happened, and some of the books written were on cybercrime against women. So that was the growing area where we find many crimes are happening against women. So some of them were on those lines. But there is a book which I edited on cyber criminology, and also several books I edited, collecting chapters from several people. So that is also there. Apart from authoring few books, most books edited gave me a very widened perspective of knowledge from various other authors also, not only mine. So I had a wonderful experience of editing a book called Routledge Handbook of South Asian Criminology, combining all the 8 nations, collecting articles from all the countries. It was a very, very difficult and a very, very tough task for me, but did that in 2019. And most of the books are now referred in libraries and read by many people, but I still have a long way to go. So I intend to write more books in the coming years to come, more author books, more experiential based book rather than theoretical book. Of course, also 1 or 2 textbooks I'm planning for, because in India there is not a strong textbook in criminology, and some of the books which are read are mostly written by law people and not criminology faculties. So that also is not giving 100% holistic perspective. So I believe that it will take some time, but still these books have had some impact. But I want to have more impact by my writing books, which will be more from a research perspective and also a popular based also. So some popular books also I plan.
So it is a long way to go, it seems, in book writing itself, right up. Coming to about you, if a book is been written by you and about you, what topic you will give for it?
I'm a passionate academician, so that will be the one where passion drives people, passion drives things, but positively. That's what I need to look into. So whatever I do, because one particular thing I have taken, that is my thing, which is criminology. So there are multiple fields, multiple things, but what comes to me easy, what is my expertise, what is my pitfalls, and what is my weaknesses, all things I gauge, so that I can define myself in a proper way. So doing SWOT analysis per year, the strength, weakness, opportunity, threat analysis per year, and next year how to remove those weaknesses and threats, and how to make the opportunities work, and how to enhance the strength. So this is how every year I work, and I compete with none. I compete with only myself. So last year Jaishankar was like this. This year, how much he is. So last year he's ranked this. This year, how much he will be ranked. So this is how the competition goes between myself year by year, and not with anyone.
That decision making in a life is more important, which is a life changing one. So how important a decision making is?
See, in life, things are not quantitative. That is a very problematic thing. Like 1 + 1 is equal to 2 is what normally happens in a logical way. But in life, nothing happens in a logical way. We think our choices are better, the best, but sometimes it fails, because not only we are the factor, there are multiple factors surrounding that. So I always believe that if you make a mistake and as a decision, it's also right, rather than not making a decision and remaining yourself without decision. So I hate people who are indecisive because they think that they cannot afford to commit mistakes. But I have committed a lot of mistakes in my life, blunders. That's how I have grown, because every time you take a risk, there is a chance of 100% failure, and also 100% success also. It's a probability is 50%. So I always go, okay, let's see that 50% will work. Sometimes 50% didn't work. It went to the other side. Failures happened. Relationship goes, money goes, everything goes. But still, your confidence and courage should remain the same, because we will be pushed into depression, we will be pushed into debt, we will be pushed into many things. But again, you have to start. So restart. So even whenever our computer is not working, hanging, what we do restart. Same thing goes in life.
The achievements is always it enthralls to do more. Can you say about your achievements in your career?
Yeah, as I embarked on a journey when doing a PhD in criminology, so I thought in another 30 years I should be one among the top professors in the world in the criminology. So that was a thing. But I never went behind any ranking. I didn't, never went behind any awards, anything. But it had all happened because of my good work. So I started building my curriculum vitae. So that is the thing. So do the work, then automatically the fruits will come. So sometimes fruits will be stolen by others, sometimes fruits will be rotten, but still there are some other areas fruits will happen. So that will give the benefits. The achievements I consider is that I am now ranked professor. I'm the only Asian and Indian among the top 16, 25 world criminologists ranked by Academic Influence USA, and also 36 in the top 200. So that places me. And also, if you search in Google, Google is telling I'm the father of Indian criminology. But there are many people who deserve to have the title, but still, the more work, the more recognition. Because of that, the Google algorithms have chosen me as the father of Indian criminology. So I believe that always your work will be recognized. So if one door is closed, another door will be open. So if there are politics, there are enemies, there are people who will pull you down, your own neighbors, your own relatives, your own other people. But still, the time will come that your achievements will be always recognized. And I believe in academics, achievements will never go down because it's a lifelong thing. That's what great scholars like Marx or Einstein still we have their names because they made an indelible mark. But the point here is that, as a point, that I always do things and leave it to the society to judge me rather than judging myself. Because, as pointed, any work will not be immediately recognized. It will take a longer time. So I have a theory called spatial transition theory of cyber crimes, which is 2007, but I believe it will have an impact only after 30 to 40 years. So we have to wait and watch how things will take in another 20 years.
So, do your work, the outcome will be on the time for you, it seems. From your word, I take this lesson and how content you are in your life and in your career.
Of course, I'm very much contented now. Probably I was not contented some years back, but now I'm very much contented for a reason that I have achieved what I wanted to. So even I'm not aiming to have a first rank in the world or even first rank in top 200, but at least I'm in a ranked situation. So making myself far ahead from other professors in this field. So that is one thing, content, and also currently starting my own institute. So I'm not a person who to work under somebody, and they work on their ideas and their direction. Rather, I can work on more on my ideas and my direction. So this gives me more flexibility and freedom than the prior time. So this also makes me more contented. So both in the personal and the professional space, I feel I'm far contented. But content should not stop you working. Content should not stop you aiming further. So content is only for happiness, but to leave something for the field and the society, content is not sufficient. You need to be discontent in certain area. Of course, I pointed earlier that there are some things waiting for me to contribute more, like writing books. So I feel discontent in that area. So I will be contributing more on that in the future.
Okay. And the last one more question is that if one some want to pursue this career, what are the intellectual qualities is to be imparted from the childhood?
I believe a kind of a searching mindset is in criminology. We need to search, we need to go for deeper, deeper, and that requires passion. So, without passion, without deep search mindset, criminology will look more hollowed. Many times I find that people who are not having a depth mindset or who are more shallow, they find criminology a waste subject. They don't find anything interesting because you see, after some point of that, you will find that criminology is like an abyss. You will not understand what is there inside because, as I pointed, that the crime is only one part of the entire human behavior. In psychology, they study the gamut of whole behavior, whereas in criminology, we study only the one gamut of the entire behavior. Little longer, little deeper to understand the first facets of crime by studying more in law, by studying more in psychology, more in geography, more in political science, more in sociology. Then only you will feel more contented and then you will understand that criminology has some value. Otherwise, you will feel criminology is just a kind of a onion that you peel off, nothing is there inside. But I believe that it is the more tastiest food. If you don't have onion, you cannot eat a good food. So criminology is one discipline, but onion alone is not sufficient. You need to connect with other vegetables also, other gravy also. So that way criminology can be enhanced. So if one has that kind of a multidisciplinary approach and a kind of a multiple perspectives, those people are eligible to be a criminologist.
Yes, sir. So a vivid description about you and also about your field. A lot of perspectives we are able to get from your point of views. So thank you for so much for coming here and joining with us and making this show a vivid may pleasure it. So thanks for this and joining us. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Krithiga man. Thank you for inviting me, and I hope your audience also will like this particular interview, and I hope more people would be interested in this new field. Of course, this field is not very old like other fields like psychology or sociology. It's in India, it's only 75 years old. In other countries, it's around 150 years old. But still, there are a lot of progress is happening in this field because of its nature, and more interest is happening in the field. And I hope that in the days to come that this field will grow even better.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you, man. Thank you.